Welcome to Review Every Ship by CitizenCon 2024. The point is to give an update on every ship since some haven't had a video made about them in years, and others, the information is simply too spread out to be helpful in making decisions. When we do a concept ship that isn't in game, we'll theory craft about what we think the final product will be using educated guesses and the information available at the time of the review. We'll go in depth, but we won't repeat everything on the RSI website. We will link to sources and fix any errors either in the description or in the comments. And remember, digital ships aren't imaginary, digital ships are necessary. Before we start, let me remind everyone we are doing a ship giveaway, a Drake Cutter and Dragonfly for a new account and a Drake Cutlass Black for everyone else. To enter to win, you must be subscribed. You must either like or dislike a video, and you must have commented on at least one video by the draw date. The winner will be drawn randomly on February 29th, 2024. Even if you're only subscribing to enter the contest, that's perfectly fine. We still appreciate your short stay. We have reached the Consolidated Outland manufacturer. We begin our series with the Consolidated Outland HoverQuad, and it has no variants. I hope it does get one though. For the price, the HoverQuad as of 3.22.1 is $30 standalone, $25 Warbond, and was the same at concept. In-game price is about $88,000. You know that place where the road ends and sky runs out? That little place at the very edge of adventure, where there's nowhere to go but forward, where over every dune and around every patch of weird flora, you might tumble headlong into glorious unfamiliarity? That's HoverQuad country, and it's begging to be explored. Yes, the heavy-duty off-roader that's off the roads because it hovers, but it's on the road because it's a vehicle but not physically touching the road, the HoverQuad. For measurements, the HoverQuad has a length of 5.5 meters, beam of 1.45 meters, height of 1.32. It is a snub-sized vehicle. Its minimum crew is 1 and its maximum crew is 1. It can carry 0 SCU. Sub-Zero. When it comes to speed, the HoverQuad speed is interesting. In the Q&A, it states that it's supposed to be slower than the Dragonfly and Nox, but from my testing, it's the fastest vehicle in the game at 125 SCM and 600 max. But my guess is after a balance pass, it will get heavily nerfed because I believe the Nox is supposed to be the fastest hover bike. That being said, the maneuverability of the Nox may get nerfed as well because it's currently matching the HoverQuad. And it's a little weird and I'm a little confused. It's supposed to win in maneuverability, the HoverQuad is, so I don't know what's going on there. But we continue. For weapons, the HoverQuad has no weapons. For ship parts, the HoverQuad has 1 extra small radar, 1 extra small computer, 1 extra small power plant, 1 extra small cooler, and 1 extra small fuel tank. The hull HP for the HoverQuad is 3,500, which is the highest of all in-game vehicles. The shields on the HoverQuad are none because it doesn't have shields. The claim time for the HoverQuad is less than a minute. Expedited claim time is about less than half a minute, and the expedited fee is less than 200 credits. You might as well claim that this is an instant claim. For special features, amenities, the HoverQuad is pretty tough and has quite a bit of internal storage for bits and bobs, but no SCU. Also, the handling is great, allowing for tight turning radiuses. Let me start by saying I'm not the biggest fan of purchasing vehicles outside the game, so almost always I'm going to suggest buying these in game because they are so cheap, but I'm guessing in the future that will change. So I'll rate this as though they do have value as far as spending money on them for the sake of the future. Now it's time to rate this vehicle. A rating I rate from 1 to 10. My 1 is only buy if you have a unique reason that is specific to you or because you like the looks of the ship. My 10 is basically if you have the money, this vehicle is almost guaranteed to be useful to you in the game. A 1 doesn't mean the vehicle is useless or ugly, and a 10 doesn't mean the vehicle is perfect. Just remember, this is just our rating. Please give us yours in the comments down below, or you can write it in the sky. Do people still do that, Steve? Or was that like, what do you mean don't tell people to pollute? I'm not. Steve, the Environmental Protection Agency isn't going to come here just for saying. My rating for this vehicle overall is a 4. But I really have to press that. That is specifically as of 3.22.1. So let me start with what I like. This one actually surprised me because I thought it would score worse because of all the bugs with it, but I just used it again in the new patch, and even though it was a short use, it seemed like the bug that kept making me crash in atmosphere was fixed. I'll let other people tell you their experience in the comments because it may have just been a one-off for me. Beside that, I started comparing this to other things, and I was just ridiculously surprised by how tough this thing is in comparison to both other hover vehicles vehicles and snub ships. It's tougher than like all the C8 variants and the Fury LX, the Archimedes, the Merlin. The SCM speed might be bugged right now, but it's really fast in comparison to other like hovering bikes, you know? The issues, outside of racing and off-roading, I don't see a need for the HoverQuad. The Dragonfly has cargo covered, the Nox has speed covered, the X1 has the shield and weapons to have combat, and the Nox has combat as well. So I guess the HoverQuad has maneuverability covered if I'm trying to assign its place in the world anyway. But at that point, I would rather take something tougher, albeit slower, like the Cyclone RC. So how would I fix this vehicle? It needs to either be tougher, or have a shield, or have a weapon, or carry an SCU container, or keep the speed it has, even though I doubt it will. So who is this vehicle for? Well, as of right now, if it is indeed flyable for everyone else the way it was for me the last time, it's a great alternative to the more expensive vehicles, but mainly for the solo player. But I can see a few of these just being fun to traverse the planet in. This is a purchase for fun, not so much utility unless you plan on racing it. I imagine using this on safer planets with rough terrain to go in between my bases of operation in the cities and the villages. The Nox is for when the terrain is a bit flatter. The HoverQuad is for everything else. It just can't do anything except get you from point A to point B, but at least you get there in style because I absolutely love the way it looks. I know you're here for our rating, but if you really want a ship, go buy it. We won't stop you. Or even better, all ships can be earned in-game once the game releases, and some you can purchase in-game right now. These are just our ratings, but when you spend, it's your money. My opinion, this is a great little ship to purchase if you get it in a pack and you get it with the big ship. But otherwise, at 88K, it's an easy purchase in-game, and I always say it's definitely an earn in-game for me when it comes to vehicles. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for spending your time with us. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.